Hello again. I'm here to explain the answers to last week's poll related to the rice products in question. The first point I want to make is this, that whatever rice plate we shall be consuming, rice is always considered to be a high-risk product because it's very high in water activity. It has a lot of water in it. And it also has the subjectivity of having these kind of bacteria called Bacillus cereus, which tend to create spores and also tend to create toxin, not only spores. So these spores, the problem with them is that they do not easily die with standard cooking temperature. They basically can withstand boiling water for over an hour and they still wouldn't be considered as inactive. So with simply boiling of rice, you wouldn't be denaturing them enough to consider them as dead. So that is the primary problem with the nature of rice. But let's go through each one of them, starting with baked rice, which is considered to be the least problematic out of all. The main advantage of baked rice is the fact that it's cooked twice. First time you boil the rice, second time after you mix everything else, you put it in the oven and reheat it and rebake it with everything else. So it has less water activity inside. In addition to that, there are additional ingredients like acidic salsa. Tomato sauce is very acidic, so that will discourage a bit the activity of bacteria. There must also be the addition of salt, which will also inhibit free water in the baked rice. So baked rice is one of the least problematic in these schedule of rice plates. The second, which is slightly more problematic than baked rice because it's more wet, has more water activity, is the chicken curry. It's cooked, so it's of a lesser risk, and that will be reheated also after adding sauces, so the cooking time is longer than simply the boiling. And the sauces might also have additional sugars and additional salts that will interfere with water activity in rice, so it will discourage further the activity of bacterial growth. Moving up the risk scale, you have the rice salad now, and this depends on the contents of the rice salad. Some rice salad might be of medium risk, other rice salad might be as risky as sushi and sashimi. So basically, if you put raw fish like salmon or raw tuna in a rice salad, it becomes a giant sushi or giant sashimi bowl. So there will be very little difference between a salad bowl and sushi and sashimi. But let's break it down into bits. If it has cooked fish like canned tuna, which is basically heated and retorted in the can, that would be having lesser risk. The rice itself is cooked. Yes, it has quite a good water activity going on, so bacteria will love to be in it. As said earlier, bacteria tend to survive the boiling process, so with that in mind, rice is a perfect candidate for bacterial growth. Having such a short baking process, it will become a very sensitive product to temperature. So the cooler, the better, and the shelf life is really short. Ideally, not longer than 24 hours, so that we contain the risks as much as possible. Moving up to the last option there was on this, it's the sashimi and sushi. As explained already, it might contain raw fish in many cases, so raw fish present their own problems. They might also have the risks of parasites in them if not prepared well enough. There is quite a specific technique how to make sushi and sashimi to avoid parasitic infections. But apart from parasites, the water activity in fish is perfect for bacterial growth. It's neutral, it's very liquid, and it will allow bacteria to grow quite quickly. Adding cooked rice to raw fish is like adding fuel to the fire, because there's even more water activity in it, and new introductions of potential bacteria like Bacillus cereus. So the options I provided in this poll had different levels of risks. I would say top risk is sushi and sashimi, and you should never consume sushi and sashimi unless you trust the supplier, because they make it safely. Rice salads are as risky as sushi and sashimi in such cases, as I said earlier, so also treat them with care. The other two plates, since they're cooked and baked, they're of a lesser risk. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to get in contact. Thanks.